What's up, everybody? Daddy1424 back for another review for you guys, or I want to say more of a first look. Behind me here on the screen I have Silent Hill Downpour. I said I was going to cover that next, so I got it up for PS3. Remember to like and subscribe and leave your comments below. You guys make this possible. The more likes, the more subscriptions, the more videos, and the closer we're going to get to that coveted giveaway that people have been asking me about. And we'll talk a little about that after this video. So let's jump in, talk about some of the highlights of this game. Silent Hill Daddy1424. So Silent Hill is up here, guys. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this game. If you're a fan of the series, I think you'll feel right at home. If you're not, the nice thing about Silent Hill Downpour is it picks up a new storyline in the Silent Hill stories, or franchise. Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3 have been somewhat interconnected, and now we have Silent Hill Downpour. Silent Hill Homecoming was, well, I don't even want to go into it. In my opinion, wasn't the best of the series. Anyway, so we got Downpour here. Who knows what the storyline is going to reveal. I know Silent Hill is infamous for a lot of twists and turns. Taking a look at the menu, we got our continue, our new game, our low game, our options, and our extras. I know right away you're thinking to yourself, wow, you know, probably not a lot of replay value because there's no multiplayer, but we'll talk about that a little bit after. So the first thing we're going to look at here in options is some of the different options you can change. So you have your invert X and Y access, your subtitles, your action prompts, your tutorial hints, your object highlighting, and your display. The next thing you have in your extras is your statistics, your credits, your gallery, and your collectibles. So again, not too much there, but you know, a little bit. I mean, I say very little bit, just scratching the surface there. One of the things I first thing I want to talk about in this game while I'm loading this up is the sound. The sound in this game is just absolutely phenomenal. You know, I have my surround sound system set up, and I'm playing the game, and the only complaint I can really have about the sound in this game is the fact that sometimes the bass can be a little bit too loud. And then when you're trying to turn the volume down and you're playing late at night, you know, to get that extra chill, that extra psychological mind, well, I won't say the word, but you know what I mean, that bass can be a little bit distracting. But again, that's very low on the totem pole when trying to grade the sound quality of this game because it's absolutely phenomenal. Graphics pretty much speak for itself. You know, you get outside and you'll see some of the rain and the textures, and it just looks, wow, unreal. What I really love about this is how the environment was kind of, I feel, in my opinion, built with the character rather than building the character first and then throwing them on top of the environment. And I believe that they did a really good job piecing together the elements of this game. Now, coming back to the original thing we talked about, which is the replay value. I know a lot of times I'm going to say to people, you know, replay value is highly important because you're dropping $60 into a game and you want to know, am I going to play it once and then is it going to sit on the shelf, or am I going to be able to play it multiple times? Now, this game is a game that is very story-driven. I don't know if it's going to offer multiplayer at a later date or not. You know, DLC, who knows? But it is pretty much story-driven. Once you beat it, you beat it. But sometimes you make an exception with that quote-unquote replay value because you'll find a game every once in a while that's really a gem and you need to simply have in your collection. And I believe that Silent Hill Downpour has the makings of this. It reminds me a lot of other games, like I know people might question this, Indigo Prophecy, Heavy Rain, Alan Wake, even titles like Dead Space a little bit to some degree. It has a very similar feel to it. Silent Hill is known for a lot of puzzles, and one of the other nice things about this game that it does is when you play the game, you have not only the ability to adjust the difficulty of the game, but to adjust the difficulty of the puzzles. So you can still play the game at hard for you hardcore gamers, and you can also go ahead and then reduce the puzzle, say for example, if you want a challenge but you don't want ridiculous difficulty in your puzzles. So the game follows a character named Murphy Pembleton, who essentially is in jail. I'm still in my fatigues right now at this point. You essentially are on a bus being transferred from a prison. You go through a little bit of a storyline there. You don't really know why your character's in jail or too much background information. You're on a bus to be transferred, and in the process of being transferred, your bus crashes, and you end up in Silent Hill. Sounds very reminiscent of other Silent Hill stories. Now you're trying to piece together the pieces of what has happened. You know, what's happened to you? Are you going crazy? What's going on in the city of Silent Hill? And again, very reminiscent of other games. This game does a phenomenal job messing with your head. It is a really good psychological thriller. There's already been a couple instances where you're playing the game and the environment or sporadically change on you and you'll end up in like a really crazy environment. One of the things that I want to talk about specifically, and I did say to you guys I want to talk about IGN and GameSpot, and the reason being for that is because IGN and GameSpot gave this a terrible, terrible ratings. They gave the game, I think IGN gave it like a 4.5 and GameSpot gave it like a 7.5. Now, I understand that they're citing the reason that for that being is due to the simple fact that there's been a lot of glitches in the games. Now, I have uncovered a couple glitches, but nothing in my opinion that really says the game warrants a 4.5. And for that matter, even a 7.5. Now, I know that sometimes people have their issues with IGN and GameSpot, and sometimes they can be, I want to say, quote-unquote, a little bit of bias, my apologies. And I believe in this case, that may be the case. I do think this is a game you should definitely pick up and definitely give it a try. Whether you're a fan of the series or not, this is a game that you can pick up as a newcomer to the series, or you can pick up as someone who's a fanatic of the series. That being said, guys, that's all she wrote for right now. It's been a quick look. I'll try and have a full review for you later on, demonstrating some of the gameplay mechanics. I just wanted to show you the environment, some of the sound, some of the detail, and talk to you about the game that is Silent Hill. Hopefully a later date I can have that for you guys. Let me know what you want to see next, because that's crucially important. There's going to be a little bit of a void coming up soon with PS Vita. I'm going to try putting out some games like Blaze Blue Continue and Shift. I'm also going to put out Wipeout 2048. I'll try and hit up some more PS3 games. Again, I'll try and do a full review on this game here behind me, Silent Hill Downpour, at a later date. But right now, as it stands initially, I believe, and I'm going to say to you guys, don't hesitate. Go pick this game up. Rent it if you can. If you want to purchase it and you're a Silent Hill fanatic, it's probably going to fit right in with your series. This has been Daddy1424 for another review from you guys. Remember to like and subscribe. Make this possible. Now, I also said earlier in the video about giveaways. I just want to mention that. There will be some announcements. I will be doing some giveaways come April, and I'll do some more announcements on that when we reach that point. Thank you very much, guys. Again, Daddy1424, and like usual, peace, love.